Hi, I'm Bet from Bet's Makes, and today we're going to talk about the new kerning text feature that is in Cricut Design Space. So we're going to spend some time looking at kerning text and all the different things that you can do with it. So let's move over to Design Space and let's start designing. What we're going to do is take this text that I've already got in here and nothing special with it per se, but it's just a font that's not really doing much. The letter spacing is not perfect, as you will find with a lot of the text. So now we're going to use the kerning feature and make some changes. So we're going to come up here and to the font. If you can see the font, it says Cricut Sans. I'm just going to click inside it. Now, what we want to do is make sure up in the top right corner here, you're only kerned fonts. Now you're going to see fonts from both your system and for Cricut, and these are the ones that are going to work extremely well. If I click on system, these are the ones that I find on my system that will kern together perfectly. So let's try something that has a lot of writing, and I have one called Shara Today Regular. So I'm just going to click on it. And as you can see, the letters all match together and they seem to have even spacing. Now the spacing below down here isn't perfect. So let's just change our line spacing. And I'm just going to click the arrow here a few times to bring it up to the minus so that I can actually see the other text. Okay, that looks good. Minus 0.3, so let's go minus 6. See if that helps. Well, we can see a little bit of it on the screen. But as you can see, the text goes nicely together. Now, I don't like the black because you can't see everything with the black, so let's make it green. Now, if you take a look at this text, you'll see that there is a line right here that looks like a cut line where everything matches together. It looks like cut lines. Don't worry about these if you are using the kerning feature, because when I click on Make It, I'm just going to go sideways because of the length of it, you'll see that the cut lines here have disappeared, and that's because it is set up as a kerning object. Now, one thing I might point out here, if I take these and I ungroup the text, and then I want to then put it together and I just group it again, I just want to show you what the difference is. I'm just going to group these two, and I think what I'll do is make them a lot smaller so I'll fit them on the mat properly. I'm going to click on Make It. I would now have to attach it because each of these are separate. So even if I took all of this and I attached it, we're still going to see some of the cut lines. You will see that you're going to get a cut in between all of these letters no matter what, because I ungrouped it and then regrouped it. So let's just undo a lot of this. Let's see, kerning text, and it looks like we're okay here. And those are two separate now. That's okay. I'm going to just undo it one more time. So I think I have one group. Nope, still need to undo one more. Oh. Okay, we're back to our original here, kerning text. I'm going to go back to the green. Now what I want to do is I'm going to change the font here to one that is Cricut based. So I'm going to click on Cricut. Now I do have access, so I may have a lot more available to me, and these are all of the fonts that will kern together beautifully. You'll notice the jumps over the lazy dog. This one is called Belinda. Let me just click on it, and of course my alignment now is a little off, so I'm going to change this back to, I'm going to make this 0. Now with this kerning text, same thing. I'm going to look at the green, and you'll see that where things are attached together. Now, once again, if you do nothing and you left it as a kerned font, when you click on Make It, and this is really important, you'll see that those cut lines have disappeared. Once you do something else to it, you're going to run into problems. Now you could weld it all together just to be on the safe side, but you don't have to. Once it's a kern text, you absolutely do not need to weld it. It will come out exactly the way you want it. So I just undid that because we're going to do a couple more things with this kern text. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the word text here. Let's see if I can go here. I'm just going to back off and get rid of the word text. Just leave the word kerning on the screen. Okay, we're still going to stay green. So we're going to do a couple of things here, which is a lot of fun with the font. And that's also using the offset feature. So I'm going to offset this one, and you can see where it's quite wide all the way around it. And what it will do is weld this offset together, which means that'll be one piece in behind. Now, if you don't want any of the cut out pieces in the center, what you have to do is come up here. I'm going to try 0.4. And that looks like it, oh, my 0.4 went away. Okay, 0.4 tab. Now it looks like all the center pieces have gone away. I've got one thing in behind. I am going to apply it. Now it does come up black in behind. If you want to use this as a sticker, you are going to have to make it a white color so it doesn't cut the white. I'm going to change our background of our canvas here by clicking on blank canvas, coming up to the top where it says color, and I'll just put a yellow background so that we can see what we're doing here. So now we have this nice cut out piece, and we have the kerning letters right here that will fit on top. Now if you want to print it as a sticker, you must highlight them both and flatten them. And this becomes a print and cut, and of course you're going to be restricted to 6.75, and I can actually come up to size up here, and it looks like I've got 6.71, so that's good enough. That will print as a sticker. That is really nice. Okay, so let's add some more text, and I'm going to use kerning again as my text. And it's nice and black. I don't want it black, but I'm going to show you a couple more things here. It's still coming up with the same kerned text because we had it turned on from before. So instead of that color, let's go with maybe a nice mauve color. So what we're going to do next is actually make a nice offset that is really going to look cool. So let's go back up here, and we're going to click on the offset, which is right here. Now it's got 0.25, which I find might be a bit big. So I'm just going to change it in here, make sure it's 0.125. And I am going to weld my offset. And I just want to see if that gives me a lot of space. I might make it a little bit smaller. And I'll tell you what I'm looking for here is I am looking for separation. So this isn't quite separated here. So let's get rid of that 0.25. Just tab. And I've got some separation right in here now. And it looks like everything's pretty separated. So that's how you're going to judge. You just make the changes right here. Now, I am going to keep the offset welded, but I am going to apply it. Now what I want to do next is make something that's really cool. I'm going to click on just the purple text. I'm going to use my up arrow key, and I'm going to use my left arrow key. So you can see the purple just comes through, so you get this really cool effect of how you can shadow anything. Now this looks really good. I'm just going to group that together for now because we're going to do something else with it as well. I'm going to move this up. I am going to duplicate it and bring it down. Now that I have this really cool effect, I can make a nicer effect with this all together. Now these are two pieces. That is the text and the offset in behind, and you can look in the layers panel to see both of those. So what I'm going to do now is slice those, and I'm going to pull the little extra pieces off. I am going to delete them. I am going to take the purple piece, I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to pull apart these two pieces, and I'm going to get rid of this one, and I am going to leave this kerning right on top. And as you can see, you get this really nice 3D effect just with the letters. So I've shown you a few things to do. Now with the kerning of the text, so I can't use these anymore, but I can come up here and let's add some more text. I'm going to add kerning one more time. And let me just pull it down here so we can see what we're doing. There are a number of fonts that you can work with here. Now you'll notice that I'm changing this from black. Let's make it a nice pink color. We do have these. I'm going to go back to the fonts here, and I'm going to search through and see what other kinds of things that we can do with this. Sometimes you will have some glyphs that are going to work out really well together. And let me just come down here. We have Belinda monogram, which looks interesting. I'm just going to click on it and see what we get. We get all of these monograms with the letters in the center. That's kind of cool. But that's not what I want for a kerned text. I want to make sure it is kerned. And this one also has some monograms. Find a really light one like this one. Now what's really important here is this is a kerned text, and it is very light in color. And what we can do with it, because we're going to use it for writing, we don't want this as a basic cut. We're going to come up here and we're going to change it to pen, and you'll see you get a nice light outline. Now what I was all worried about with the kerning of the text is the pen going to go across on top of each of these? Well, let's click on Make It and see what we get. Let me just turn off all these other ones first so that we're not being in competition here. I've got one more kerning one, which is not the pen, which is this one. Let me just bring this up. Now I'm going to click on Make It. And when you take a look, because it's a kerned font, it loses the overlap. So you're going to get exactly what you see. So that's an important factor. Whether it's writing or just simply kerning it all by itself, is this overlap. If you are too worried about the overlap and you think it's going to look awkward, you can always weld them together to make one piece. I'll weld this and you'll see that it's gone from the screen as well. So you can change it any which way you want. So I hope you had a lot of fun with this kerning of the text. We did a couple of things. This is one, it was for writing. We also had another one that had an offset look to it, so you could cut that out in vinyl. And we also had a couple of flattened ones, and this one would make a beautiful sticker. And we also had another one that could be cut out in vinyl, or you could make it as a sticker. It doesn't really matter. It is a really cool 3D effect. So those are the 4 different things that we're going to be using with kerning. So hope you have a lot of fun with this, and until next time, happy crafting.